There's something truly exciting happening in the Great Australian Bight. High adventure on the high seas. It's so spectacular that we just had to venture out there to show it to you. A world first, a multi-million-dollar revolution aimed at feeding the world. A hardy breed of fishermen who roam the sea in search of the highly lucrative southern bluefin tuna. But they're not just fish catchers, they're fish farmers and wranglers, drovers of the deep. So let's join their remarkable roundup on the wildest of wild ranges where wrestling sharks is all in a day's work. Riding the mountainous waters of a southern ocean storm, the tuna hunters brave these seas for weeks on end, waiting for the one day that makes it all worthwhile, when the waters flatten and the drovers of the deep can head for the big roundup. This is a fishing operation like no other, and it's perilous work. Dogged by sharks and constant storms, some of these seagoing wranglers have paid with their lives in the pursuit of a fish, a much-prized southern bluefin tuna. Not everyone need apply. It takes a certain type to work out here, where manners and language become as rough as the sea.
Okay, yes, just slowly. We just gotta put it on a little bit here, like. Just watch what you're doing.
Hagen Stair is a strident giant of the Australian fishing industry and an outspoken pioneer of this most unusual fishery. He's brash and forceful and known to be generous with encouragement and gentle advice from the pitching deck.
Don't wreck the cage either. Yes, Christ almighty. Get right, slowly, yes. Put it on.
It's the practice of 40 years of shouting to make himself heard above the roar of the engines, the howl of the wind, and the slosh of the sea.
Hagen, there's a lot of bad language in this business.
That's the unfortunate part about it. That is the fault.
Or is that English as a second language?
That's the fishing industry. And on the spur of the moment, you say things which 5 minutes later they're forgotten. You know? Right. So everyone understands.
And nobody resents it.
Nobody really resents it.
Offshore fishing is the toughest job in Australia. In a closed immigrant culture dominated by southern Europeans, this German-born Australian is a one-off who has risen to join the ranks of the nation's top 200 richest people.
Now, you weren't always a rich man, were you?
No, I came to this country with a pair of blue jeans and a pound in my pocket.
And you've had a few ups and downs, too.
Oh, absolutely. Put the hand in the gills. Put the hand in the gills, don't let the f***ing thing go. Put the hand in the gills, don't let it f***ing go.
Just 15 years ago, Port Lincoln's tuna fishermen were broke. Poling for the bluefin, their catch was tinned and sold for little more than cat food. Then the town's fishing families came up with the idea of capturing and farming the tuna, fattening them for the Asian markets like prized beef cattle, value adding by a factor of hundreds, and so began one of the world's most lucrative fisheries.
Isn't it absolutely magnificent?
Fabulous. Now, how big is it?
Oh, that would be about 30 kilo.
30 kilos?
Yeah, 30 kilos. But look at it. The king of kings, the ultimate in the sea, and a beautiful fish. Look at it, 30 kilo. I can hardly carry it, bloody heavy. And look at it, what a beautiful specimen.
Fattened in these marine feedlots, just one big tuna can be worth $100,000 on the Japanese market. Getting them from the ocean deep to the marketplace is Australia's hardest job.
Yeah. I think this is a men's world, and I still belong to the old school. I think women should be in the kitchen, I should be even good cooks, and I should be good in the bedroom.
Can you imagine?
And not to have to come out here.
I can't believe you're saying this.
Tuna are the great untrammelled ocean rovers. They cover thousands of nautical miles each year in an epic migration from the spawning grounds of Indonesia, down the west coast of Australia, into the Southern Ocean, the Indian and the Pacific. The point of this operation is to intercept a few thousand of them and to take them alive, and that takes a lot of time.
We're in the Australian Bight, 200 nautical miles out from Port Lincoln in South Australia. This is the life of the tuna hunters. Hove to, out here riding the billows and the swells of the Southern Ocean, trailing their cages behind them and waiting for sea and weather and fish to conspire to produce the perfect day. They'll wait here for up to 3 weeks and they'll suffer everything that the sea can throw at them. Storms, gales, loneliness, boredom and of course seasickness. We've only been here a day and already I'm hoping devoutly that today is that perfect day.
I think we all like the sound of a perfect day, but we're 250 miles southwest of Port Lincoln. We're 120 miles south of Ceduna, so we're right out there.
Stop reminding me.
With his father more and more office-bound, Marcus Stair is now in charge of the family fleet.
I think they've forgotten what it's like to be out here. They're armchair fishermen these days.
Oh, I hear you say that.
We're aboard the Saxon, the 70-foot tuna boat. But out here in the wilds of the Southern Ocean, 70 feet doesn't seem so big.
There would be times when you've had a fright out here, I would think.
Absolutely, from boats sinking to losing divers to losing cages. Whatever could have gone wrong over the years, it's all happened to us, unfortunately.
Was a good tuna.
What's that?
Between of them, what was going on?
Croatian fish spotter.
I can see the comment.
They have spotter planes and they have sonar, but essentially, like cowboys or drovers of the deep, for weeks on end, they scour these vast, rolling prairies of water in search of their stock, the wild tuna.
There's a patch of fish. Throw some bait over the side.
The tuna are greedy for food and can be drawn to the surface. They'll even follow the boat until the fishermen can enclose them in a net. Then comes the extraordinary job of the divers, who shepherd the fish into marine cages.
You're in there like sheepdogs.
We're in there, yeah, we're in there like opening up the gates and tying ropes up and getting the cages together.
Do the fish move like a mob? Once you get a few going in the right direction, the others follow?
Yeah, they do a bit. They'll sort of, one will see the opening and head, and then there'll be another large school of them go through, and then they'll stop for a minute and another lot will go through, but they do move a bit like the sheep in that regard.
They call these adventurous young blokes Hagen's heroes. On the long, slow haul back to the coast, it's their job to protect the tuna from marauding sharks that chew through the cages to get at the fish. There are 7,000 fish in this cage, already worth $6 million. Fattened up back at the coast, they would fetch 3 times that. But is it worth risking your life?
This is an extraordinary job. I mean, to go into those cages with sharks is just a remarkable thing to do.
Yeah, well, yeah. To us, it's a bit of a buzz. We've been doing it for quite a while now, and it's all part of the fun, a lot of it. It's quite an adrenaline rush.
Most of the time you can shepherd them out?
Yeah, most of the time you can, depending on the type of shark that it is and whether they're a bit more vicious than the others. Like makos are a bit more vicious and snappy than your blue sharks, which are quite sort of sedate. They're just quite happy to be out of the cage, and you can wrestle them a little bit and point them in the direction. If you've got a hole that you can poke them out. So
wrestle them.
Wrestle them. It's the only way to get the sharks out. You've got to get in there with them and get them out.
It's a bit of a young mugs game, I think.
Your family worry about you, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, they do all the time. I've got 2 young kids and a wife, and They don't really enjoy me coming out here a lot, and they worry all the time, and they see what we do, but to us it's just part of our life.
The tow back to port is unbearably slow. Travelling at little more than a knot, it takes weeks.
Come down, come down.
Back in Port Lincoln, the very expensive job of fattening the tuna begins. Twice a day, they're fed pilchards by the pallet load.
You're shoveling money into the sea.
Absolutely. And that goes against my grind.
Nowhere is there more truth than the old saying about spending money to make money.
Each container of those, you're looking at $1,000. Goes to show you, we sometimes put over the side.
So that's 60. What are they?
Yeah, I mean, you got, that would cost about 40, 50 cents. Then you're standing on the side of the ring, you flick it over the side, you flick it over the side. Die after die after die after die. And let me tell you, even your boss, even Kerry Packer would get very weak in the knees. Even Kerry Packer get weak in the knees.
The once quiet seaside village of Port Lincoln, South Australia, has been transformed into Tuna Town. This place rides on the fish's back. So lucrative is this industry, they claim per capita more millionaires here than anywhere else in the country. And the new houses reflect a decidedly Gold Coast affluence with a fishy flavour.
Hey, Charles, good to see you, man. Welcome to my humble cottage. Humble it is.
And high on the dress circle, the home of Mr. Tuna, Hagen Stair.
Well, what have you hidden behind the stainless steel doors, eh?
Yes, we are very, very happy here. I wouldn't live anywhere else. And I can see the boats every morning, and I can check exactly when they go to work. And, you know, I wouldn't live anywhere else in the world.
You could even shout at them from here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hagen has it all, but he wants more. He has a magnificent dream: to feed the world with tuna bred in captivity. It's been done with fish like snapper and salmon, but no one has come near it with these wild ocean wanderers until now.
Oh, look at that. Hagen, this is fantastic.
These are Hagen's broodstock, the stud tuna of the future. Each female is capable of producing millions of eggs and theoretically able to restock the depleted oceans, and at the same time hugely increase Australia's commercial production outside of quota restrictions.
This is the holy grail of everything.
Can this feed the world, do you think?
Absolutely. If we get, and this is not if, but when, it's just a matter of time. It might take
You don't have
12
any doubts,
months.
do you?
Absolutely, I haven't got no doubt.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
It's a great dream and certainly something new to shout about, because without a breeding program, the whole lucrative industry could be in jeopardy. Scientists tell us that, like so many other fish stocks, globally, tuna are on the point of collapse.
Aquaculture is the industry of the future. That is, it's a foregone conclusion. The year 2019, the world will eat 3 times as much fish as we have now. If the tuna disappear, we have got the tuna to reseed the oceans. That's why it is so phenomenal. Just keep it under control. Just keep it under control. Just be bloody careful. Those dumb bastards, sometimes they put fish in the bloody cage, then they forgot to put the lid on. There's always some trouble.
While many doubted that wild tuna could ever be captured and farmed, Hagen Stair was determined to make it work. Again, there are doubts that tuna can be bred in captivity. If Hagen can prove them wrong this time, not just Port Lincoln, but the whole world will benefit.
A businessman said to me the other day, what Australia needs is 100 Hagens. Is that a frightening prospect?
It certainly would be a frightening prospect. I think one Hagen, a lot of other people say, one Hagen is plenty, one Hagen. My own wife even says that, one Hagen is plenty.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinfort. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our Extra Minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au. 9now.com.au, as well as the 9Now app.